Hello everyone, this is حسين هاشم. تحياتنا لكم بلقاء متجدد من برنامج حكي رياضي سبورتس توك اللي بيطلع عليكم كل نهار تنين من الساعة 4:30 لنتواصل معكم ساعة تقريبا. يعني حكينا باسكتبول، حكينا ساكر، حكينا أكثر من رياضة. اليوم رح نحكي فوتبول، مع إنه نحن عايشين بأمريكا كنا لازم نحكي فوتبول من الأول بس قررنا نحكي فوتبول اليوم. فمين أحلى إنه نحكي معه عن فوتبول صراحة الكوتش فؤاد زبان والدكتور محمد هزيمي اللي ما بيعرفوا كثير يعني على أخير فايد بالفوتبول. فموضوعنا اليوم رح يكون عن الفوتبول اللي هي الكرة شو بتسموها بالعربي الأمريكانية، يعني الكرة
الفوتبول الأمريكاني.
الفوتبول الأمريكاني، لأن نحن عندنا بالبلاد فمن كيف بيفكروا الفوتبول يعني فوتبول يعني ساكر. فأكيد تحياتنا لكم. رح نتحدث عن هذا الموضوع، رح ندوي عن المسيرة والتفوق والتألق للكابتن لكوتش زبان، وخصوصا انه الفوز ال100 له 100 فيكتوري فور هيم جاست ريسنتلي هابند، مش من زمان بعيد. بس بدايه الحلقه خلونا نتشكر السبونسرز تبع واتساب ميديا نتورك اللي هن المحامي حميد دكروب، ستيت بلانينج اند بروبيت اتورني، ابلايد مودرن هاوس دكتور محمد هزيمي، ايفر فريش ماركت موجودين على اناربل تري بديربون هايست، توب مورجج كومباني خينا اليكس دهيني، محمد خروبي مو خروبي من ريماكس 2000، وميدريت فارماسي حسين عبد الله. كمان البرنامج هيدا بحد ذاته سبورتس توك، اتس سبونسرد باي ديربون جاكوارز، كوتش محمد حجازي، هايب اثليتكس علي السيد، واير تايم بويستلاند وكانتون خينا مروان هاشم. شكرا لكم لرعايتكم لهيدا البرنامج بشكل خاص. غير هيك بدنا نخبركم انه في الباك تو سكول بروجرام اللي عندنا اياه، اتس كنا اول ايفنت رح يصير نهار السبت بميدرايت فارماسي بديربون هايتس. رح يكون في هيلث فير، هيدا اتس اوبن تو ذا بابليك. حيلا واحد في موجود بالاريا في يتواصل معنا يجي في نحن نعمل بلاد تشيك وشغلات ثانيه، يعني شوجر تشيك، بلاد بريشر تشيك، باك باكس، a lot of stuff that's gonna happen. فكتير مهم انه تجوا وتشاركونا، واتس اوبن تو ذا بابليك. رح الفلاير موجوده عندنا على الويب سايت وعلى الصفحه، ففيكم تشوفوها وفيكم تشوفوا تتواصلوا معنا لتشوفوا كيف فيكم تنضموا لنا. غير هيك حلا واحد بحب يحضر اكثر من 130 قناه عربيه بالاضافه الى قنوات بينج سبورتس اللي بحبوا يحضروا رياضه، وشاهد بلس فين يتواصلوا معنا ليحصلوا على 7 ايام مشاهده مجانيه لسلينك تي في ارابيك. فكمان هيدي الشغله بالنسبه للرياضه بشكل عام بالساكر والمحبين رياضه الفوتبول العربي. ليفربول ربح 3-0 على بيرنلي، ارسنال تعادل 2-2 هو وتوتنهام، تشيلسي تعادلوا، مانشستر يونايتد تعادلوا، بريمير ليج والعان كتير حلو، مبارياتهم كتير حلوه. بالنسبه للليغا كمان اتلتيكو مدريد ربح على ايبار، ريال مدريد تعادل هو وفيراريال، وبرشلونه وساسونا كمان تعادلوا. ريال مدريد وبرشلونه تقريبا لعيبتهم عندهم 6-7 لعيبه منصابين، فاي دونت نو يعني كيف رح يعملوها. اليوم بيسكر شباك الانتقالات باوروبا الترانسفير ويندو، فالكل مترقب ليشوف اذا نيمار رح يروح لبرشلونه او ريال مدريد، ونحن رح نتابع لنشوف شو رح يصير. بس اليوم رح نحكي فوتبول، وكونه معنا الكوتش زبان والدكتور محمد، انا بدي رحب بالدكتور محمد وخليه هو يبلش ويتحدث هو والكوتش زبان، وانا ان شاء الله I'll join the conversation. دكتور محمد الك.
And you forgot to say Michigan State won.
Michigan State won.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Okay. Michigan won. So we looked good there as well. So you forgot those two sports there.
Okay,
College ball started, right?
Very good. Very
so
good.
Coach, I honestly I want to start off by saying thank you for everything. Honestly, there was a couple different things, and I'm going to give my backstory of how much respect I have for this man, and what he does for the community as a whole. Is just unbelievable, and it's the stuff that you don't even pay attention to because he's not the type. He's one of the most humble people I've met personally. He's not the type to go out and say, "Hey, look at me," or "Hey, this." He does it min qalbo, from his heart, 150%.
Nice.
So it's I remember it was 3 years ago, I believe. I was sitting down, I was talking about how I wanted to be on the sidelines of a sports team. It was just a passion. That's my way of giving back to the youth, inshallah. And I continue to want to do that no matter what. And I was talking in front of one of the coaches, and I think he called Haj, and he didn't finish the sentence. He was like, Hazimi? Yep, no problem, bring him in, done. Whereas I went to other schools, I went to my alma mater, okay? I went to other high schools, and it was like jumping through hoops and doing this, and just because his heart is so big, he's like, you know what, yeah, no matter whatever he needs, you bring him in and we'll take care of it no matter what. So that, you gave me that stepping stone, which was fantastic. Before I even opened up in Dearborn Heights, You gave me that to get my face in the community, and thank you so much for that, honestly.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being there for us.
No problem.
You helped us out more than probably we helped you out.
Well, it was experience. Experience is just worth more than anything. So let's get started with this, man. Congrats on your milestone. Congrats on the 100 victories. That's huge feat. And now I understand when you were in high school, when you were younger, you were quite the athlete. So what made you pick football over, say, basketball or other sports that you played?
Well, it's a funny question there. Funny in the sense that my first love was not football. It was more basketball. I enjoyed basketball a little more, although I did have success in most of the sports that I played and participated in. But ultimately, it was the opportunity to play college football.
Oh, really? Okay.
On a scholarship that kind of guided me into that direction. And then once I finished playing at the college level, it was one day I came back to Fortson and my coaches were there and they were saying, come on, when are you going to finish? We need your help, you know.
Yeah.
And that kind of got my foot in the door and got me started into in the coaching profession.
Beautiful.
And,
how long ago was that?
We're talking about over 25 years ago.
So been with them for 20. Okay, that's awesome. So now, quite another question. Fortson moved up divisions last year, right?
We did not move up divisions. We are in the top division. So
Okay.
we've been in the top division for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
What we did last year was we moved into a different league.
Okay.
Okay. So this league is a lot more competitive.
Gotcha.
They have some very good teams in this league. And actually a few of us from our old league went into this league.
Yes.
So Dearborn,
Yep.
they came along with us. Belleville came along
Yes.
with us. In our league right now, we have the 3 Livonia schools. We have Wayne as well, and Westland John Glenn.
Yes.
So it's a pretty competitive league, and then there's another side to it. There's a west side. We're the east side. They're the west side,
Okay.
and they're very good teams on the other side as well.
So now, it leads me to my question. You went from, I don't want to say an easier division, but a division with not as much competition in it, to that division, and you continued to have that success. How?
Well, to be honest with you, I think competition breeds better play. You know, it breeds success, and the more you go out there and you compete against good teams, you're only preparing yourself better to. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, what are we doing? We're trying to get into the playoffs.
Of course.
We're trying to make a run into the playoffs. So if you just want to go win a few games and then you know get into the playoffs and not have success, then you can continue doing that. We wanted to be able to prepare ourselves well enough for the playoffs, and this was an avenue for us that we were able to do.
Yeah, and just seeing the pure competition, like you said, it's you play to your competition, right?
Absolutely.
So it happens in the pros, it happens in college.
Yes.
It's when someone plays I hate to say a lesser team, but a team that's just not on the same level as they are.
Unfortunately, you know, sorry to cut you off, but when you're coaching, you coach so much against that. You know, you try to tell the kids and you know your players, and at all levels. I'm not just talking about high school, you know, or lower. At all levels, you try to coach against them, thinking that the other team isn't as good.
Yeah.
And they take it easy, and then they play down to their competition. And then, you know, I think when you do that, you're not improving. And when you're not improving, you're getting worse.
Yes.
So, aside from that, more importantly, I think this is where a lot of your injuries happen as well.
Yes.
You know, if you really look at that,
Yeah.
you know, this it kind of works hand in hand.
Well, because they're not going 100% at that point. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the injuries happening when they're looking to the next week.
Yes.
They're looking for the next opponent, or they're looking for the next whatever it is. Their head's not in the game, and boom, there goes an ankle, there goes a knee, there goes a back, whatever it is. So yeah, I could see that and hear that all the time. The other thing, man, I've seen this from my personal experience, and I think we were just talking about it when the camp was at LTU.
Yes.
I played football my entire life. I played from when I was 8 years old. I had an opportunity to go to Bluffton or Adrian or whatever. I just, with size and they weren't a science school, and I knew I had to get somewhere with my mind more than my body. So I went with school instead of playing sports. But I thought I knew football until that camp. I went to that camp and I watched high school kids with the coach, getting them ready. And you could lay the specifics out, but it was when I played ball, our hell week was literally running. We were track stars. We went in our first game, we had no friggin' idea what the plays were, you know, so it was tough. With his camp, it was drill after drill after drill, just based around football. Like, I learned so much about football in those 3-4 days that you guys were at this camp, more than I probably known in a while. So your knowledge, how do you like relaying that?
Well, first of all, I think when you say it's not me.
Yeah.
I have a staff.
Of course.
And obviously you witnessed this. These guys are very, very, very educated in the game of football.
Oh my God, yes.
Now you say, how do we get to that point? We do a lot of clinics. We go listen to a lot of speakers.
Gotcha.
We go watch a lot of college coaches, maybe professional coaches, even high school coaches, because there's a lot of really, really good high school coaches that you can learn from. So we go and we ask questions. I mean, you go to these coaches clinics and you see a lot of people sit in the back, and maybe they're going there just to hang out with their friends and get away from the family for a few days. Honestly, and you know, a lot of my staff, when we go, we're in the front. We're taking notes. We're asking the questions. When I say the questions, it seems like we're occupying the room a lot of the times. And this is where we've learned. And then we try to implement that with our kids. So that's when you talk about the knowledge, that's where we've gained that from. And we've learned how to coach more from, you know, the experiences that we've learned, you know, things that worked, things that didn't work. And this is the way you do it.
Yeah.
Usually high school students are a bit rebellious. They don't want to listen to directions. You know, they want to do things their own way. How hard is it to basically work with high school students?
Well, first of all, I think all people are, you know, when someone is telling them to do something, they kind of tend to put that rebellious.
Young, a young age.
But the younger guys, these guys, honestly, to be honest with you, these guys, they believe what we tell them. I mean, do they do everything? No. Do they do everything to the way we want it, to the standards we want it? No, it's not like that. But they believe. We have a foundation that has been set for many, way before I got to Fortson High School. You know that our kids will work hard. They will listen. They will run through a wall for you. If you tell them that, you know, the sky is green, they're going to say the sky is green. If you tell them the grass is blue, they're going to believe you. You know, if you tell them to jump, they'll ask you how high. They really are, for the most part, like that. Now, do they sometimes think that they know the game a little more than you do? Probably. And the way you handle that is, you know, there's different ways. There's older methods that used to be where you just yell and, you know, and you force them into things. I think now in today's society, we try to use a lot of positive. Don't get me wrong. If you come to watch our practice, you're going to hear, you know, that it's not all positive. You know, there's some loud voices, there's some, you know, yelling, but there's a lot of encouraging.
Actions you take against your players?
It just depends on what the situation is. We don't discipline someone for making a mistake on the field. We discipline someone for their tardiness, maybe, you know, being late or doing something in the school.
Exactly. I was going to ask you
know,
about that.
When like, say, they got in trouble in the class or something. Yeah, there's discipline for those issues.
Do they have to maintain a certain GPA for them to stay on your team? What's the GPA?
The district rule is a 2.0. Okay. Now, you may look at the 2.0 as it's not that big of a deal. In all honesty, it isn't that big of a deal. But you can look at it as, well, we have 6 classes. They can get 5 C's and 1 C minus, and they can't play.
Oh, wow.
So they're passing all their classes with an average grade, but they can't play. But I support that, the 2.0 rule. And we encourage them to make sure. So what we've implemented the tutoring before we go out to practice.
Very good.
Nice.
So anyone that is having trouble, and it doesn't have to be someone that's falling below those averages. Anyone that's having trouble in any of their classes, we have tutoring set up for them where they go out an hour before we go out for practice to go get their tutoring done, get their work done, and then they come out to practice.
Very good. And I'm going to have ask more questions. أكيد بدي أشكر everyone that's watching us on Facebook, on WhatsApp Media Network. Thank you for watching on Sling TV Arabic and all of the pages that basically are partnering with us on this live stream. Thank you for everyone that's watching. Make sure if you have a question to Coach Zaban or to Doc or to me, please go ahead and write it in the comment box below the live stream. Feel free to share the video and this episode so we can reach more people. But again, any comments you have, any feedback, any experience with Haj, was coach. We used to call you Haj this way. We used to. Please make sure you write it in the comment box. Haj Kamal Shara says, great man, Haj Fouad, with a thumbs up. So, تحياتنا لك Haj Kamal.
Nice, Salman.
You know, sometimes you hear on the street, coach, that basically because they're varsity football players or because they're football players, sometimes you let them go with some of the stuff. Not you, but as a school. What's your response to that?
Unless they're in the building and they see what happens and the discipline the action that we take against certain acts that they do, you know, you're always going to have your haters. You're always going to have your people that are going to say what they want to say.
This way I want to put it out there. I mean, since
that's fine. We encourage all questions, so
yes,
you know, send them in. But you know, look, in the end, the way I live my life and the way I try to teach these young men, my worry is not the perception that's out there.
Very good.
My worry is what Allah is you know,
awesome.
is thinking of me, and am I doing the right things in that sense? That's how I feel. So if people think that we give them chances, then so be it. But in the end, to be honest with you, sometimes you do give chances.
Okay.
You know, but we give chances to regular students as well.
Yeah.
You know,
People are human.
And
people make mistakes.
Absolutely. In life, outside, on the streets, they don't have to be in education. You can be in anywhere else. Are we never going to give chances to those people? You know, people can. You want them to be able to turn their lives around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they make mistakes, and depending on the situation. We handle it the way we see fit.
One thing I seen at a game. This was 2 years ago. Okay. Player made a boneheaded move. Okay, he was being enticed by the opponent, and he retaliated. He got caught, flag on him. Instead of Haj snapping on him or telling him anything, he literally flat out looked at him. I remember, I won't forget it. He looked at him square in the face and goes, "You have to think about your actions with what your actions just did to your team, not just yourself. What did it do to your team?" So that family unity, you know, from what I've seen, you install that drastically. The other thing a statement that you guys said earlier that I wanted to just throw in, man, was, you know, I've seen a lot of organizations where the players are playing in spite of the coach. Whether they agree with them, don't agree with them, they want to just play in spite of him. They want to put their visors on. They want to just play for themselves, their personal stats. With your squad, coaches, assistant coaches, everybody, from head to toe, they're playing for him. So that sense of unity is just one of those things of why for example, I put my kid in football. People think I'm crazy. People think I'm not, with CTEs going around, concussions, all these things going around. Why would you put your kids in football? Are you crazy? And alhamdulillah, with my experience, I could tell you with what, you know, if it's a risk or not. And I know we talked about this briefly earlier, but we'll get into it a little bit more now. What's your belief system on that? Like, is it safe enough for a kid, and I know your kids play, you know, to put them in football? What's your take on it?
First of all, yes, you know, my son does play.
Yes.
So I wouldn't want my son to get hurt, just like I wouldn't want any other kid to get hurt.
100%.
So in all honesty, they're all my kids. You know, that's the way I feel about it. The game is safe if you teach it correctly.
Yes.
And I know we teach correctly.
That's a good point, by the way.
You understand what I'm saying? I believe in the way we coach. I believe in how we teach how to tackle, how not to use your head, and you know, all the things that try to keep you from getting a concussion or, you know, CTE. So I believe in that. But the game itself, there's so much more to it than just, you know, the bashing, you know,
100%.
the teamwork, the discipline, you know, all the hard
Unity,
work. I mean, there's so much that you can learn for life. It's not just about the game of football.
No.
Look, when we're out on the field, when we're playing the game, do we want to compete? Do we want to win? 100%. But we try to teach so much more than that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It goes along with work as well. If you know how to do a team sport, if you're working at Quicken or you're working at any of these, you have to be a team. So the fact that you are goal-oriented, that makes it easier. The fact that you understand that you've done it your entire life. If you know how to time manage, because I remember my grades in high school, they were better when I was in a sport. because I didn't have a lot of time to slack off.
Exactly.
So if I wasn't playing a sport, I was like, yeah, I procrastinate, no problem. I'll wait, I'll worry about it later. So it's like you said, it's not just the bashing of heads and all that good stuff. It's that unity is just phenomenal. Which leads me to the next thing. Where do you stand with, like if kids want to wear the visors, or if kids want to wear the high socks, or if kids want to wear because I know where I stand. I'm like, no, you get one for all or nobody.
Yeah.
Where are you with that?
You know, I've I guess as I get older, I've become more lenient.
Okay.
You know, I want the game to be fun for the kids. You know, we still have our things that we do, and we do it a certain way.
Of course.
And we have our discipline and you know, our structure to things. What kids are seeing now, they're watching on TV and they're seeing all of this. So it becomes more and more of a challenge for you to have that old mentality, you know. No, it's going to be this way. It's only going to be this way.
Yeah.
So I want the kids to enjoy it. I don't want them just to come out there and like you said, I don't want them to play in spite of me. I want them to play for me. So I want them to understand, okay, this is what we're doing, and we need to do this to be successful. Now, we can do it this way, or we could do it this way.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it's them enjoying, and I feel when they enjoy being at practice, they're going to learn. If they don't enjoy being there at practice, if they don't enjoy playing the game, then you're not going to have the success that you want to have.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of want to go back to your question.
Which one?
Where you asked about, do they get treated special treatment?
Yeah.
You know, I think if you go into that building and you see any one of those kids, and I'm talking about all students.
By the way, I'm talking
No.
as a third person, but I do go to the buildings and I see how you guys deal with them. I'm asking so people know.
Yeah,
I know.
No, absolutely. No, I'm not saying that's you.
I know.
I'm
just clarifying for people. I know you know that too.
What I want people to understand is I try and we try to treat everybody equal, whether they play a sport or they don't play a sport. So if you ask anyone that's had any contact with me, regardless of what their situation was, we try to treat everybody, you know, the best way we can to help them. And sometimes maybe it's a football player, sending him home may be the best thing for him. Sometimes having a kid that's just a regular student in the school, not get suspended is the best thing for him. So each situation
is different.
Is
in
different.
The way how you deal
and you
with
have to handle each kid differently.
I want to go back to winning and losing just a bit. Winning is great. Everyone will be happy. Coaching staff, everyone will be good. We know how to deal with winning. But dealing with a failure and with losing, how do you guys prepare them before the game? You know, after the game, what happens in the locker rooms? Just walk me through it.
Well, hopefully we don't have to do this too often. But
I mean, in life there is failures and there is success. So it's a life lesson.
So you do. I don't think it's something that you prepare for, to have a speech that you're gonna say to the kids that if you lose. What happens is it's from the heart. You speak to them. And it depends on how the performance was, what happened in the game. Did we kill ourselves because we made a lot of mental mistakes, or we didn't prepare well enough? If that was the situation, then the conversation in the locker room is going to be a little more different. It's going to be a little more of not necessarily blaming them, but telling them that this is what happens when you don't do the right things in practice. If they fought their hearts out and they played tough and the team was just a little better than they were, or what have you, then you feel those emotions that the kids are feeling, and you just try to bring them up. And if you have more games to continue, you definitely have to bring them up, because you got to get them prepared for the next week.
So the biggest thing with sports, short-term memory. Short-term memory. I mean, you can't sit there and dwell on a play. You can't sit there and dwell on a game. It's okay, you made a mistake, get up and move on. Moving on from your mistakes. So that is the biggest thing that another big thing that I love with sports, is just because you have that situation where you can fail every single play, and you get up and you go at it again. We talked about injuries earlier, and I want to get back into that a little bit because if your heart is not into it, right? We talked about this earlier. If your heart's not into it, you're not giving it 110%. Just like with your job, just like with your family, just like with your religion. There's multiple different things that you have to give 100% to be a part of it. Not 100% of your life, but 100% when you're in it, you're doing the best at what you can while you're in it. So, you know, I put my kid, like I said earlier, I put my kid in football because I need to see how he's going to do. Is he going to, you know, get up and actually move after his hit, after his failure, or is he going to shut down? If he's going to shut down, I'm pulling him from the sport because of injuries.
Yes.
You know, you just got to make sure safety first, right? What is it exactly where we're looking at injuries and we're trying to say, okay, how do we teach these kids how to deal with pain? Because there was a time where pain, you got a headache, take Tylenol. You got a sprain, strain, rice, rest, ice, compress, elevate, and Motrin.
Yes.
Like there was always that something to take with it. With everything going on, especially in the community and everywhere, okay, how do we help these kids with that?
With us, we have a trainer on site, and yourself, you were there, you were with us. We have several doctors that are with us to make sure that we educate our kids.
Of course.
Prior to the season, each kid has to take a test.
Yep.
So a concussion test, and then, you know, obviously injury protocol type stuff that they do that with the trainer.
Okay.
So everyone has to get on a laptop and kind of
Gotcha.
take this test and kind of give them some information that they would need to know.
Okay.
And then really, honestly, it's anything from a medical perspective, we kind of direct to the doctors.
Of course.
Because that's not our profession. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not where my knowledge is.
Of course.
So I direct them to someone who can better help them. So
Okay.
that's the best
Yeah.
way to address that for us.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that's the best thing is and I brought it up because I've seen stars of yours go down in a scrimmage.
Yep.
And you pull them out, no problem, for their safety.
Yep.
So when parents are questioning, when parents are worried, if you have faith and trust in your staff, you got nothing to worry about. These guys, you got nothing to worry about. You know, so it's just a matter of the sport. You just have to learn it and know what's going on with it to understand, is it safe or not safe? And as long as you got a good team backing them up, then it should be nothing but safe at that point. What else do you want to add, Hassan?
I mean, for me, this is the issue with drugs and stuff. This is why we said on the field and off the field.
Yes.
You know, as you said, everyone plays for the coach because, you know, they love you, they respect you, and they listen to you sometimes probably more than their parents. If you can't talk to us, we don't have to do names, but about situations where actually football and playing on the football team helped those kids, you know, get off, you know, some of the stuff, the bad stuff they were doing. Because we want parents, you know, parents are listening. We want them to basically.
There's so many stories that we can tell you. And I'm not going to tell you that we're 100% success rate here.
100%. 100%.
There's some kids that we've tried with, and unfortunately they've kept going the wrong way, you know. But there's a lot of kids that have turned their lives around, you know, whether it's a family issue, whether it's actually we have a kid right now on the team, and I would never mention this kid as a freshman or a sophomore. We kicked him off from the program because he got into some smoking. Okay, and he came. Last year we had a heart-to-heart and we talked, and there you go. There, you know, going back to the chances, you know, we gave this kid another chance. He really didn't even see the field that much last year, and but he had turned his life around. He started doing better in school.
Nice.
He started doing good, you know, at home, and then this year, he's one of the leaders of the team.
Awesome. Nice.
I'll be very honest with you, and he's really stepped his game up on the football field, but more importantly in life, he stepped his game up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's so many of those stories that I can tell you, but this is just one that I know that is happening right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So and that's where I wanted to bring that up, that opioid and pain management, because it's just a matter of, you made a mistake. Whether you smoke, whether you take something, whether you mental, so any substance abuse, any mental awareness, anything like that, you have a great support team with your coaches. You have a great support team in the school. So parents, having their kids playing the sports or anything like that, I feel as if having that unity and having that family and having everything there is just a great support team for them to help them out. Because at times, like we said earlier, kids are rebellious.
Yes.
Right? So do they always want to go and tell their parents? Do they always want to go and tell their siblings? Sometimes they might confide in a coach or a doc or whoever it is, a colleague, whatever it is. They might confide in them a little bit more. So it's that one life that you're going to change around. And that's one thing that, like I said earlier, play for him instead of in spite of him. I just applaud him for on a regular basis just because I've seen him do that. And I don't even know if he knew that I was watching or paying attention to that. But it was just a matter of when you see it, it's just you're in awe.
It stuck with you.
Yeah, you're stuck with it. And it's phenomenal. Go ahead.
I want to go to the part about parents' involvement and how much does it help you guys.
Yes.
Do you see, especially that you are, like it or not, you are at East Dearborn, high school. Yeah. How involved are the parents in sports? We're gonna put it out there.
Well, we have a group that is involved, and we have the majority that is probably not involved. I would say the majority of them are not involved. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not looking for anything for myself. I want them just to come and see their kids out there.
Exactly.
To me, that's what's important. Sometimes those kids, when they see their family members out there, or their friends, or whoever it may be, and they have that, they see that support system, it just makes them, and it's all about feel. It just makes them feel so good about
100%,
themselves.
100%.
And I feel that's very important. So, if you're a parent of one of our kids that plays football, please come and support them every Friday night. I think they'd love to see you guys out there.
Of course.
And I think you'll have a good time watching them play.
Have you, through your experience with parents, have you approached any of the parents, why you're not, attending, and what was their response?
Personally, I have not just approached any certain parents. We have attractor moms, for example.
Okay.
The moms of certain kids, and they kind of do stuff for we've tried sending letters out. We've tried making phone calls in the past. It seems like our community here in the East End, that's not their number one focus.
That's not, okay.
Which is rightfully so. The kids' education is the main thing, or maybe they want that support system from their kids working or something like that.
Even in education, we are involved in schools, and we've seen it, and the number one issue that everyone is complaining in the school, whether the principal or the social worker, is parents are not showing up. They're not coming to, even to the parent-teacher conferences, they're not coming to it to see how their kids performing. What can we do about it? As a community, this is a failure for a community.
I think we just got to keep attacking, and hopefully we can break those barriers down and make them feel like they are welcome. Our practices are pretty open. If a parent wants to come and sit and watch, they can come and watch. And I feel the school is the same way. The school is open. If a parent wants to come in and speak to the grade level principal, they can. If they need to see the principal, obviously they would probably have to make an appointment. But it's open, so we want them to know that we're here for you.
Of course,
we're with your kids. We want to support your kids. But I think that it'll be great if you guys are involved as well.
There's only so much you can do. Yeah. At the end of the day, you are only with the kids for how many hours? You know what I'm saying? Out of a 24-hour day.
Sometimes we're with them more than most parents, which is a good thing. I don't mind that.
Yeah, no, that is a good thing. But at the same time, it's like you need to see them get out and move on and see them with other people, how they interact, how they talk to other people. So seeing them that when they are sheltered or they can't be themselves, and that's another thing that I really truthfully believe that it's an issue, is they can't be themselves around loved ones at times because they may get judged. They may, that's this, that. Explain to them, let them know. Especially in today's world where everything is electronics, everything is antisocial. People don't know how to communicate. So if you see your kid is doing that, talk to them. See what's wrong with them. Why are they doing that? What do they want to say? There's got to be something on their mind. And that, it just goes such a long way. Just a simple question of, hey, what's wrong? What's going on? I see something on your face. That goes such a long way, and I've seen your staff do that. Especially Big Baz, I've seen him do it a couple times. I see Munter do it. Os, especially with his quarterbacks, he's got them down on lock. It's great. But it's you see that, and having that support team is it's great. But I just wish, as a community, we could have a place for these kids to go. We could have a place for questions or something along those lines where they feel comfortable, non-judgmental. I use this as an example 24/7. We know as Muslims we need to pray 5 times a day, right?
Yes.
We need 5 prayers. But if you're not doing it for yourself, if you're doing it because Mama and Baba want you to pray, are you going to pray? Are you going to make it? Halal, I'll get up. Yeah, I'm not going to wake up for Fajr. Halal, I'll make it up later. So it's tough because if you're not doing it for you. It's hard to get that message across. So if you're just brushing everything, whatever it is, I don't care what it is, underneath the rug, and they're not openly talking to you about it, it's very, very difficult at that point. Alhamdulillah, I've had a family and support team that no matter what, they've been there. And alhamdulillah, I've been blessed.
That makes a difference.
I've been blessed. I cannot complain at all. But what I personally want to do is sort of follow in Hajj's footsteps here and try to be that mentor. So anybody, any pain, anything, my office is in Dearborn Heights, you come and see us, we're there, okay? Because that is one of the biggest things that I see, especially within the last month. I mean, you were talking about it. Something needs to be done, and more things will be coming up, but something needs to be done with that. And that's why, I've heard you guys say it multiple times too, if you're an uncoachable kid, you're an unemployable adult.
Yes.
So you have to, put them in these sports and get them organized with multiple different people that are their support team, that they can go to. If you don't have the resources to get it done, let us know. We're there for you, no matter 100%. What.
For sure, I want to thank everyone that's watching. Rabi Hamoud, he's saying he's not only a great coach, he's also a great mentor as well.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yes.
We agree with you 100%.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
A good friend.
We love Rabi. أكيد تحياتنا لربيع and one Dearborn, amazing friends for us, to be honest with you. Ali Hamoud is saying congrats Hajj. Ali Hamoud, attorney Ali Hamoud. And then Akram Ali is saying he's the best coach. God bless him. So Akidi, thank you everyone that's watching.
You guys.
Make sure you put your feedback, your comments, and your questions, and we're going to make sure to basically read them so everyone can listen to them and basically know what you feel and what you think. Other than that, Akidi Kamen, we want to make sure, if you're watching, you like the show, make sure you share it so everyone can watch with us and basically benefit from the information that, Coach Zaban and Dr.Moe are giving out today. The rivalry between Fordson and D1 High. Is there a special preparation for that? I mean, it's beautiful. I've been to one of those games, and it's just the spirit is amazing, to be honest with you.
Well, I think it's special. I mean, the special preparation. I promise we try to prepare for each game the same way because I feel, and I try to make sure my staff knows and our kids know that each game is as important. That's the only one that's important that day. And the next one is important that day. I don't think you can look ahead. I don't think you can look backwards, Is it a special time? Yes, it is special because, I mean, a lot of times you have cousins playing cousins,
exactly.
You have family playing family. You have friends playing friends. So it's.
I mean, the community is different in the time.
Community.
Yeah. You see the feel. I mean, everyone is posting on social media.
Yes.
They're talking chit-chat
about it probably. And you know what I realized too is he might have to prepare them he might have to rile them down a little bit because they're so excited to be there. So it's just a matter of keeping them focused.
Great point.
During that week is harder for them as a coaching staff because they're so excited to get out there. They're so excited to lay a hit. They're so excited to make a difference, to hear their name. It's different. You get the chills when it's around the entire community instead of going out to a different school and you don't know anybody there.
Because I'm around them during the week and I see how they talk to each other and I'm like, I'll see you at the field. We're going to beat you. We're going to win.
I'm going to take it more from a coach's perspective. I want them to also know that it's not the all end. So if you win that game or you lose that game, hopefully you've done well enough where you're going to get into the playoffs, or you have to finish. So you can't live. I mean, at the time, live for that game, but once that game is over with, you can't live in that game anymore. You have to move on. So you can't get too down if you lose.
Short-term memory.
And you can't get too high if you win. So you have to, make sure you get the mindset ready for the next opportunity that you have.
How do you prepare them, or how do you isolate your team that are on the field from the crowd? I mean, especially in that game, you have a huge crowd around them. Probably their family, or their parents, or their friends are there. Come get them, go beat them, push them, whatever. How what do you do? Yelling works at that time.
I don't know if there's anything that you can do. It's a great atmosphere. You have people there. I mean, we have our things that, like, we don't want our kids going to the fence and speaking to the people.
100%.
In the bleachers at that time. They know that. They understand that. And I think once the game is getting a little bit out of hand one way or the other, then you tend to see that a little more. But for the majority of the time, they're focused and locked in on what their job is.
Very good.
And
especially when
they're
you're a
ready
player
to
on
go.
the field.
Yeah.
When you're a player on the field, you're not even paying attention to anything. It's you're just in the zone. It's a different thing, and
it's a special feeling.
Yeah,
It is.
it cannot be explained. And even with being an athlete and doing those things, if it's hard. Losing sucks. You asked it earlier. Losing's horrible. But at the end of the day, as an athlete or as whatever, as a professional, if you could leave, even if you failed and you said, I gave it my all, I gave it 100%, what's there to be ashamed about?
Yeah. As a follow-up question, who's a better football team? Is it Fortson or DHS, Dearborn High?
Do I have to answer?
Really?
You have to answer.
Really?
Talk to me as Fortson coach, and talk to me stats.
I talk tradition.
Yeah.
I talk history. Just go back and look at the numbers and the times that we've played. And
so Dearborn High, you have to step up your game a bit.
Look, I have a lot of respect for them. I mean, I think they do a very good job. They have some talented kids, and I'm sure they're going to come and play hard like they do every year. So, but I'm a Fortson man.
Yeah.
I bleed blue and gold. So.
I want to ask about the Fortson tradition, and you've been with Fortson for over 20 years, 25 years now?
Yes.
I want to ask about that, but first let me take some comments from Facebook, and thank you everyone for watching. Our Solicitor General, Fadwa Hamoud, she's an alumni from Fortson. She's saying our community is lucky to have such amazing mentors and people willing to step up to the plate and invest in our kids. It takes a village. Congrats, Haj. Hussein M is saying great guy on and off the field. Akidi, thank you everyone that's watching. Make sure keep writing those comments and those feedback. We love them. Coach, I mean, what was the point I was going to ask about? 25
Tradition.
years. 25 years with Fortson.
Yes.
On a personal level, what are your goals? And on a professional level, what are your goals? When you are you continuing with Fortson? Do you have what's your vision? What are you aiming for?
My vision is just try to help as many kids as I can in the community. I'm from the community. My kids are in the community. They go to the same, they go to our schools here. They're in the public schools, and coaching football. That's been my avenue to be able to help kids.
Of course.
So. People ask me, do you want to move on to college? Do you want to move on to the pros? Honestly, I think at this point it's a little late for me. I have a family. I have kids.
And I think more.
I have more security. That's more security for me. The college lifestyle, the professional lifestyle. I think you need to start that when you're younger. So I advise anyone that wants to go into coaching at the professional level or college level, that you do that coming out of college. You do a grad assistant position, and then you get your network, and then you get your foot in the door, and then you try to latch on with the team. We have a great example in Robert Salah. Robert played for me.
He did.
A terrific young man, a terrific player. He had a mindset. He had a goal. And that was his goal, was to coach, and to coach at the college level, and then eventually the professional level. And what a great model.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a great person. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've met him before. Have you met him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's fine.
sorry.
You're good.
He's just, this is someone you want your kids to be like.
Yeah.
You know, he is terrific. He's a great coach, by the way. You know, I mean, leaving that aside, but he's a great human being.
Yeah.
You know, so he took the path of getting out of college, getting into a grad assistant job, and he had a goal to move up. He paid his dues. You got to pay your dues. Paid his dues, took his time, and alhamdulillah, eventually he hooked on with different professional teams, and now he's with the 49ers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Defense coordinator for 49ers.
Mo?
I'll be rooting for him every single week.
I'm not a 49er fan,
Except,
but
well, I root for him.
I root for Robert Saleh.
We
I root for him.
We want to
Except
get
for
for
September 22nd. He's playing my
We've been
Steelers.
talking for almost 75% of the show about Dearborn, because we are from Dearborn.
Yes.
We are for
course.
Hussein. Let me move to the national level.
Yes.
And college and professional, if you don't mind, Mo.
Yeah.
Mo is my co-host today, so that's why I'm not asking him. Actually, all the questions are for Coach Zaban today. On a college level, and we were chit-chatting before the show started, and you said you love watching probably college more than watching the NFL?
I'm more of I love high school football because I think they're doing it for just for the love of the game, the passion of the game. College, I enjoy that too. I enjoy the atmosphere. You know, you have all these people watching, rooting for their alumni.
Very good.
Then you get to the professional. It's just like it's a job.
It's a different.
It's a different feel. Me personally, I'm not a NFL. I love watching when the playoffs start, but I'm not an NFL guy.
So you don't watch until the playoff?
I'll watch here and there. I'll watch the Lions.
Right.
The
That's
Steelers.
How are they going to do this year?
But I'll watch Robert because he's coaching.
Of course. So have you ever done fantasy football?
Never.
Never.
I
got a draft right after this. I got to run That's what makes me love.
Muhammad, he does it for fun.
Yes, and that's what makes me love the football, the NFL more. But I'm with you with college, watching the kids play and put everything on the field because they're working towards that next paycheck, right?
Yeah.
Whereas with the pros, it's a lot of me, and it drives me freaking nuts.
And you asked. There's several questions that you asked. I think about kids and how to handle kids and different issues and stuff. That the NFL is what creates some of that problem for us because
100%.
It's that me attitude and some of the stuff that they see on ESPN that our kids see on ESPN and stuff makes it tougher. Yeah. But we have to bring them back to reality and
that's what I'm saying. So it's not reality. At the end of the day, the NFL, it's a soap opera. It's a TV show. They're entertaining us. It's not real life. What is it? 5% of the people will make it to the NFL?
I don't even know if it's 5%.
If it's even that, right? So, I mean, it's just a matter of it's entertainment. It's not real life. So, especially with
NFL stands for not for long.
Not for long, right? Yeah, exactly. No fun league, not for long. Take your pick. But it's that's why I love college. I love watching college and high school.
College football. Who's your team?
I'm a Michigan guy.
Yeah. Michigan?
Yeah, Michigan all day.
Okay, Michigan State. Well, I was going to play on it. But
No, I told you I'm not going to treat you the other day when you came in with the Michigan State.
I'm not Brian is one of my Brian Masan is one of my really good friends. And when he played, I was diehard Michigan State just because he was on there, obviously. So
how about NFL?
I cheer for the Steelers and the Lions.
I knew I loved you. I loved you. Go Steelers. There you go. I knew I loved you.
But now we got to root for Robert, too.
Always got, yeah. And you always got to root for the home team. You always got to follow the Lions, cheer for them, as long as they're not playing my Steelers. Yeah. And then Rob as well. You got to root for him.
You spoke about your family, and this is a topic I want to end up with, talking about the family and, community at large. When you talk about your family, I mean, you are a family man. You're here. You spend a lot of time with your family. How do you basically organize your time? How do you have time to basically
not just that
coach,
also
volunteer
the Amity
and that's one you want to talk about yourself.
He does the Amity. He was helping out with Kazwini for everything. I mean, he does a lot. Yeah. How do you do that? I mean, smugly. You got great kids. You got a wife that does her cake stuff on the side. Fantastic cakes, by the way.
Z Sweets.
Z Sweets. There you go. Fantastic. She actually just did my kid's birthday the other day. But yeah, how do you find the time, man? I mean, it's crazy.
Sometimes it feels like you're on the go constantly. You just do.
Okay.
You just do.
Tends to work out.
Obviously, family is family. You got to, I tell a lot of my younger coaches, you got to take time and and spend your time with your kids and
Yeah.
your wife, and you know it's very
many kids
important,
you have?
and it's something that I learned. You know,
Yeah.
it's not something that I always knew how to approach.
Yeah.
I have 4 kids.
Four kids.
I have 3 girls and 1 boy. And you just got to prioritize things. You know, to me, like you said, helping Amity.
Yep.
You know, to me it's important. But
course.
not only is it important because we're helping, it's modeling for my kids.
Yeah.
So my kids can see
Lead by example.
what's important in this world. Amity is not the only place.
No.
We've done many, and when I say my kids, also this includes the football team.
I've seen
the
them. That's
football,
what.
the football team.
Yeah.
Does about 3-4 community service projects a year.
Nice.
So we've worked with Habitat for Humanity. We've worked with Amity. We've worked with Zaman. We've worked with just multiple, different organs. We go to read to kids during Reading Month. So we feel it's very important. So what I try to teach my kids, I'm trying to teach our team as well.
And that's why I wanted to bring that up, because I know how much you stress community.
Yes.
And that's the fantastic thing there. I mean, if you need any volunteer time, anything, I mean, he's the one to get a hold of. Hussein, myself. I mean, it's something that you could help out with drastically. He knows the community better than myself, without a doubt. But it's just a matter of knowing who to turn to and where to find these volunteer times at would be fantastic. And I seen the kids. Weren't they passing out turkeys? Was it turkeys last year?
We've done the turkey drive.
Yeah.
This most recent one, we did the backpack drive.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. Okay, good. So that's huge with the community in mind and helping them out. So I'm about wrapping up. How about yourself?
Yes, we are almost
So,
about wrapping up.
Coach,
We have about 5 minutes, but Muhammad.
Sorry. Next game. Where is it? Who's playing?
Next
What's
game
going on?
is this Friday. We are at Wayne High School, Wayne Memorial High School, and come and support.
Yeah, come out, support, watch the kids. You could just literally see and feel the passion and love that they have on the field. And with what coach does, I mean, when you don't try to talk to him during the game, he's in that zone. You will not, you won't be able to get to him. Maybe after the game, he'll talk no matter what. But during the game, you see him in that zone, and it's really you become in awe with it.
I want to end it up and to wrap it up with, I want a couple of messages from you. One to your team. What do you want to tell them?
Okay, first I want to go back because I've been getting a lot of congratulations and stuff like this about the 100.
101.
And I want everybody to know this. And I thank you. I appreciate all your thanks. But the one thing I want you guys to know is without our team, without our kids, and without the staff that I've been lucky enough to have over the years, none of this would be possible, and we wouldn't be talking about this today. So that's one thing. What else?
What's your message to your team, the one that played with you throughout the 25 years of your career?
Hey, I love all of you guys. Thank you for all your hard work and, your support. And, the door is always open for you guys. You guys can always come and see us at practice. I'm starting to have kids that have kids now. A lot of my players are having kids now.
Yeah.
So bring the family. We'd love to see you. And thank you once again.
We spoke about on the field a lot. For you, how important is off of the field as a person and as a young person and as a community member?
That's my life.
That's your life.
I try to live my life a certain way, and hopefully it's good. And I try to model that for my kids and for our team, and we want them to understand that the values and the morals and how to be in the community, how to to have respect and just it's very important in terms of the lifestyle that I live.
Very good, very good. Mo, do you have anything?
No, that's it. Thank you for everything. And I know honestly the big congrats to not just coach, to the staff, to Fortson as a whole. It's like that. Listener was saying earlier, it takes a village. It really does take a village. And having the support and seeing the alumni out there, you guys have that perfect cheer crowd of people just supporting the team. You get a different feel at Fortson football. And I'm not an alumni from there. I'm not even from there. I graduated from Crestwood. But the feel that you get just being on the field is just phenomenal. So congrats to you guys. It's as all you guys as fans and staff that got that 100th victory right there.
I want to end it up, Coach, was just one thing, and we can wrap it up, is basically who's that one person that you can think out of the top of my head that you consider like a role model or impacted you or did something that you really cannot forget during your life?
There's several, you know. I mean, obviously my parents were big role models for me, you know, and I've tried to make sure that I make them proud, you know. So I try to live my life that way. God rest his soul, Allah yarhamu. My dad passed away, but he was, you know, he was a big inspiration for me. Another person who had passed away, Allah yarhamu, was Ali Popeye Berry. And maybe some people out there may know who he is. You guys may not know who he is. But from the sport world, he's the one who got me into playing sports and enjoying and took me to games where I probably would have never had an opportunity to go.
Yeah.
You know, our parents coming over from overseas when we first got here, you know, it was work, you know, trying to take care of the family, which is understandable. And it was this man, like you said something earlier today, you know, it's like we need something for these kids. We need a place for these kids to go to.
Yes.
Well, we had that in the south end of Dearborn.
Yeah.
You know, growing up in the south end, and Rabi would know what I'm talking about, Rabi Hamoud. We had the Hamoud Center.
Oh, really?
Yes. And you know where Access is right now in the south end? We had that, and there was like video games, there was a boxing ring, there was a basketball court. It was a place where we were able to hang out, and Popeye Ali Berry used to run this place. And this is how we grew up.
Oh, wow.
So he was very, very influential in my life and guiding me into this, this field.
I didn't know that.
I'm glad we asked you that. What's your motto? What do you go by?
Wow, that's a question that you really have to think about, you know. So I can't answer you right now. I just try to live my life the way Allah asks us to, as much as I can, and try to follow the lead of the Prophet and go from there.
Awesome. Coach, thank you for joining me.
I appreciate it.
Dr.Moe,
Yes, sir.
you were a great co-host today.
I tried.
Inshallah, we're going to use you as well.
Mo was awesome.
How did he do today?
He was excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. As usual.
He's usually a guest. Now he was a co-host. The first time was a co-host.
First time ever.
It was always the first time,
right?
huh? Did you like it? Was
It was good. It was great.
Maybe you got to go into a different field.
Nah, I'm happy where I'm at right now. I'm good. I don't know if I could be in the camera all the time. I'm good right now.
Dr. Moe is my chiropractor, and he is the
Yes.
chiropractor. He has 2 clinics, one in Dearborn Heights and one in Livonia.
Yes.
And I know you used to do sports and team, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
For
Well, I
comedy.
mean, I still love to do it. It's just time restraints. But still, Coach knows whenever a kid needs anything, you send them to me, no matter what.
He's been great.
Yeah, no matter what, they come to me. Any pain relation, it's a med-free pain management clinic that we will make sure we get them better without worrying about taking any type of meds or worry about addiction in the future or anything along those lines. So bring them in no matter what. Give me a call. We'll take care of them. I mean, I'm all about the youth, so please, I'll help them out as much as I possibly can.
It's called Applied Modern Health.
Yes.
Dr. Moe Hazimi. You can look him up on social media, and you can see him on WhatsApp Media. He's a regular with us, and we love having Dr. Moe because he's all about no medication, no medication, no medication. And this is what we want because our community is facing one of those epidemic where
And
it starts with a pill and it goes to where we don't want it to go.
And don't get me wrong, I mean, that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day.
Akidi,
But
we're going to talk about
I'll
it.
tell you flat out, there's a time and place for everything.
Yes.
Akidi.
I'm not one of those chiros that hates medication of all kind. No. Medications keep my father alive.
Yeah.
He needs it for his blood pressure meds. He needs it for things of that nature. But I think it's overly used and overly prescribed in today's community.
Okay.
Where at times it's being passed out like candy on Halloween. Yes. So the minute someone comes in with pain, that should be an immediate referral to a chiro. And I was going to talk to you about this, but it's the other day I was listening to a patient. A patient has an issue with it was sciatica running down the back of their leg, down to their foot, and they got Mobic, prednisone, which is a steroid, pain management, yada yada yada, right? So very difficult. And then they got sent to physical therapy, which I love physical therapy. I'm actually with Max Pro Rehab. There's a quick plug for you, Mo. I'm actually with Max Pro Rehab, who's actually phenomenal. But a majority of the time, physical therapy is great for tendons, ligaments, and muscles.
Okay.
Chiro is good for bones, nerves, discs. So if you have a bone, nerve, or disc issue, sciatica, you need to see a chiro and then see a physical therapist to strengthen the area that you just fixed as a chiropractor. So we'll be fixing the structure. It's like having a crooked foundation in the house. You have a crooked foundation in the house, you got a crooked house. Fix the foundation and then the supporting cast of the muscles with physical therapy. So that's something that's not being done right, and that's going to be a whole nother subject hopefully that we'll bring up.
No, 100%. Inshallah, we'll talk about this more and more. And,
Something new I learned.
Yeah, right.
That's what I told you. I refer him to the trainer.
Right, that's it. Just refer him to the trainer. That's it.
Again, thank you, Dr.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Zban, for joining me. And again, congrats on your 100th to you and to the team. It takes a village, and you guys are the right people in the right place. Of
course.
For our community, because our community and Fortson needs you. And you've been making a lot of difference. Probably you are in the shadow. You don't like to go and talk about it, but people knows. And thank you for everything that you do. Again, thank you everyone for watching this episode of معود على شو الأخبار. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Talk حكي رياضي. This show airs every Monday at 4:30 Eastern Time. It airs on WhatsApp Media Network and it airs on Sling TV Arabic, in addition to other pages that join us in airing this show. So thank you for everyone that's watching, whether on WhatsApp Media or Sling TV. Thank you to our sponsors. The sponsors for this show: dearborn Jaguars, Coach Mo Hjaze, Hype Athletics, Ali Sayed, Airtime, Westland and Canton, Marwan. And thank you to WhatsApp Media Network sponsors in general: Attorney Hamid Dakroub, State Planning and Probate Attorney, Applied Modern House, Dr.Moe, Hezimة, Every Fresh Market, Top Mortgage Company, Alex Dahani, Mo Kharoubi from Remax 2000, Midright Pharmacy, Hussein Abdullah, and Sling TV Arabic. Thank you everyone for watching this show. Anyone that would like to watch this show, in addition to over 130 channels in Arabic, and in addition to Being Sports in HD and a library of video on demand on Shahid Plus, get Sling TV Arabic. You can reach out to us and get 7 days free. Thank you everyone for watching again. Until next week, this was Hussein Hashim for WhatsApp Media Network. This was the Sports Talk Show. See you next Monday.